Hi guys, and welcome to our channel. Today is going to be a bit different. We're just going to have a conversation. I saw something online recently where some ladies were talking and they said that one of them actually said that she doesn't bear the name of her father, her biological father, that she bears the name of her mother's parents. And her reason for that is that it's her mother's parents that raised her, not her father. Her biological father, I mean. And then the person went on to say that there is a difference between a father and a dad. That a father is the person that just, for want of a better word, impregnates the woman, while the dad is the person that raises the child. You see, my problem with statements like this, most especially for the younger ladies growing up watching these people speak like this, is what you're telling the younger girls coming up, the younger African girls coming up, is that I could actually have a man who impregnates me and then get another man that will raise the child, and it's okay. It's not okay. It's high time we start telling ourselves the truth. In what planet? Yes, maybe the Western society. You see, the problem with us, most especially, I will be very specific today. The problem with us Nigerians is we tend to copy things from the West, but we copy it in such a way where we now overdo it. We do it more than the people who we are copying it from. And I'll tell my guys this that are watching. The fact that a woman had a child outside of wedlock and now turns around to have bad things to say about that same man that she decided to open her legs to, it's a red flag. But what is also a game changer, and for me, a killer, is when that woman in turn tells me that that child is bearing her last name and not the father's last name. That just tells you that that woman is bad business. To be fair, I think when I listen to a lot of women talk about equality, I actually want it. Let there be equality. They want equality. Let's have it. There's nothing wrong in it. I mean, men already find it difficult in this world to get ahead. Yeah, but a lot of ladies, modern ladies, will say no, they have it harder. I said, okay, you have it harder. But yet, a man has to toil day and night. Day and night. As in, he has to struggle to make headway. Because men are naturally very competitive. And men will do almost anything to win. When you make such statements and you say things like that, and you say the father is the person who plants the seed in you, the dad is the person that raises, and then I would even tell men, why do you want to even put yourself in that kind of position? Equality is good. If there's equality, equality is not just restricted or limited to job opportunities and equal opportunities. But I think equality for men and women, if they are going to approve it, which I stand for, should be cut across the board. That means when I'm walking on the road and I see a man and a woman fighting, and the man is overpowering the woman, I'll just look at it and keep walking, because you guys are equal. You should be able to hold your own. The same way I see you being attacked, I'm going to look at it and say the same way I would look at a man, two men fighting and be like, oh yeah, they'll be fine. They will take care of themselves. It's the same way I would look at your situation and be like, you'll be fine. Because that's equality. We are equal. We are all equal. You see, the problem with most women is they want equality only when it benefits them. But when equality does not benefit them, they don't want it. They say they want equality, but they're still looking for men to open the doors for them. They're still looking for men to take them out on a date and pay for the entire date. They're looking for men to perform the traditional roles. They're looking for men to lead when it comes to spending money, your finances, to lead when it comes to making the very difficult decisions that they don't want to be held accountable for. No, it should cut across board. If we are equal, we are equal. There's no, oh, you should lead when it comes to spending the money. You should lead when it comes to when there's a problem. Oh, we're living together in the same house. And maybe around 1 a.m. at night, we hear someone in the kitchen. There's equality. You go downstairs and check who that person is. I'm not going to put myself in the firing line. We are equal. So when that person invades our home, instead of waiting for me to go downstairs and say, let me go and fight off the person. No, you do it because we are equal. What a lot of women don't understand is that the people who have propagated this equality thing, they've really, really damaged a lot of things. Women have always been looked at as, with all respect attached to it, as the weaker vessel. They've always been looked at as the softer sex. So they've always been looked at as people who need to be protected, who need to be catered for. But what this so-called Western feminism has done is, what they don't realize is doing is damaging that mentality in a lot of young men that, listen, we are all equal, we are all equal. When you continue to say you are all equal, we are equal, we're equal, we're equal, what that is saying is that I don't need to look at you that way. I don't need to look at you as a weaker sex. I don't need to look at you as soft. I don't need to look at you as someone who I need to stand up for, to sit down. I don't need to be a gentleman around you because we are all equal. So that is the danger. And therein lies this conversation where someone is saying that you want to bear the name of the person who raises you and not the name of the person who... First things first. Why should a woman put herself in that position in the first place? Yes, you come and you say things happen, but why should a woman put herself in that position where she has a child by a man she doesn't care or she doesn't like or she hates? Why? Because I know women are very smart. Women are very intelligent. If women control pregnancy, if a woman sees a man that she wants to get pregnant for, believe me, that man doesn't have control over that. The same way if a woman does not want to get pregnant for a man, that man doesn't have control. I'll give you an example. If a husband and wife are living in the house and the wife wants, again, I'm just using this as an example to draw home my point, and the wife wants one more child and the husband says no, who wins that war? Or who wins that battle? The wife. Because she has control over it. She will tell the husband, oh yeah, I'm taking the pills, I'm good. But deep down she wants a child. And she knows that if she gets pregnant, there's nothing the man can do. The man has to accept it. So if a woman has power in that circumstance of bringing a child to this world, why shouldn't we give her that same responsibility when she has that child and then turns back and tries to blame the man? It's like a double standard. Fine, double standards work. But when we talk about double standards, there's also responsibility attached to it. If you can control pregnancy when you're in a marriage and you can decide, listen, what am I even saying? We've seen instances where women are living with a man and they've sworn that they don't want to have a child by that man and they are taking pills. And the man begins to think that probably there's something wrong with him. They go for counseling, only to find out that this woman has been taking pills to not get pregnant. That's the level of power women have over pregnancy. They have that level of power and they know that. And women will look at it and say, if I don't want to get pregnant for this man, if all I want from this man is his money and I don't ever want to get pregnant for him, I won't. Women won't. So if a woman has power in that situation, why would she not want to take the responsibility when the pregnancy is not wanted by the man? Why is it one-sided? Oh, it's only good when I don't want it. It's only good when it favors me. So what I'm saying, to draw home my point, is this whole Western thing we are taking on board of, children outside of wedlock. Now you have women saying that the person who gave birth, the person who impregnated you is the father, and the person who raises the child is the dad. A load of rubbish. I say that from personal experience. I was not raised by my biological father. But you know what? My biological father is still my father any day, anytime, because his blood runs through my veins. And I would accord him that respect. I'm not going to accord the person who raised me that level of respect of being my father, because he's not. You know why? I didn't pick my father. I didn't pick him. I wasn't there when him and my mother were together. I was not born yet, so I didn't pick him. So if there's anybody that I should be upset with, is the person who made the decision to be with him. If, and that's a big if the woman comes and starts saying he's a bad person. So when women of today are coming to say, and again, not to mention, I bear my father's name, even though he didn't raise me. That is how Africans do it. We need to, the name means an identity. The name means where you are from. The name means that you have a lineage, you have a line. But then something funny I thought of again. You see, modern women are very, very funny and clever. I asked someone one day that approved this foolishness, I'll call it. I say, you approve the fact that if a man doesn't raise your child or is not involved in your child's life, the man is not eligible to bear, or the child would not bear the man's name. And I asked her, if that man that impregnates you, his name is Bill Gates, his last name is Bill Gates, or his last name is Dangote, or his last name is Bezos, if that's the man that impregnated you, would you still have that same belief? And she was quiet. So you see how they are trying to switch the narrative now. The same double standard. The same double standard, which is why I always tell men, I said, in my previous video, I said, your purpose in life is not a woman, because women would always do and choose the decision that best suits them and works for them. You see, in this case, if it was Bill Gates or if it was Dangote that impregnated her and did not have anything to do with the child, she will be the one to take that name and tie it around the neck of the child. My child is a Dangote, regardless of whether the father was involved or not, because of what that name means. But if it was a regular guy, then they would say that. Which is why I always tell young men, focus on your purpose. Be the best version of yourself. Improve your life. Work on your fitness. Improve yourself. If you're in school, go to school. If you're working, work harder than anybody else. If you are making money, make more money than everybody else. If you're a businessman, do your business better than everybody else, because that is what matters by the end of the day. When you put yourself at the high level, at the apex of what you do, you don't need to tell a woman that the child needs to bear your name. She will take that name and wrap it around the child's neck. Because what? Like what I said in one of my videos, your purpose is what is very important to the woman, not you. Your achievement, your status. And what has happened now is that modern women have brought it out in the open that yes, so this is where direction we're going. In the older era, yes, it was important because a man needed to be strong to cater and protect his family. But a man was still looked at as a man because he was a man. But now you're looked at being a man because of what you can provide, what you can give, your status, your level, how much money you have. So when I see women say that, it's a red flag, a big red flag. Like that lady I saw say, that's a big red flag. And men need to be able to pick up on these little red flags. You know, obviously the obvious one that is flying around Nigeria now is the baby mama thing. Is flying around like a plague. You now see women that have 2 children by 2 different men, and you ask yourself, why would a man want to put himself in that kind of a position? Because you're never going to be number one. The woman is always going to want to put those children before you. If she wanted to settle down with somebody, let her look for somebody that has a child or that has children as well, and then they could live together. That is still a better match. But most women with children will say, oh, I don't want a man with child. We need to get to a point where we go back to the basics and start telling ourselves the truth. We need to stop letting women who keep themselves, who do not get pregnant before marriage, who do the right thing, we need to stop making them feel like they are not important. We need to stop it. There are a lot of women out there who are in their 20s, who are in their 30s, and I dare say to a certain extent 40s, who have never had a child, who have never been married, who have put themselves right and focused on what they need to do. We need to start appreciating those women. Those are the kind of women or ladies that we need to encourage. Not this kind of women who believe in their mind that they could still go out, have children left, right, and center by God knows who, questionable characters, and still want to be treated like they are virgins. Because if you treat those women that way, you are giving a bad impression. You are making those women who have intentions to keep them, so you are making them feel like they are not worth it. And it's not fair. You know, but like my mother would always say, women are their own worst enemies. They know when to come together and stay with each other and fight a cause. But when that cause has been fought, they go back to disliking each other. That's why in the office, if you look at most women, a woman boss, a lady boss, and a lady subordinate, they hardly see eye to eye because they just don't like each other. But if it was a guy boss or a guy co-worker, they could still work in tandem. They could work together. The essence of this video is just for us to have that thought in our mind that we need to stop this at some point. You know, first things first, it was the baby mama situation where, for me, it's a no-no. It's a no-no. Not because I judge people who are in that situation, but because we need to understand that we are Africans. We are Africans. We are not Westerners. And we need to hold on to our traditional values, if not for our sake, for the sake of our children. I am childless as I am. I don't have a child yet. So when I see women talking about they have 2 children by 2 different men, you know, and you know, it breaks my heart. Most especially if it's African women, it's sad, because that is not how I was raised. I wasn't raised to see women that way in that situation. Whoa.